If you've ever liked a woman who barely noticed you, this message is for you. Because the truth is, it's not rejection that hurts the most, it's feeling invisible. It's wondering what he has that you don't. It's replaying conversations in your head, hoping you said something different. But what if I told you attraction doesn't begin with being chosen, it begins with becoming? What if the reason she's not interested has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with how you see yourself? Stay with me until the end, because one shift in how you show up can change how women feel around you forever. Comment your location below and subscribe to the channel for more truth that changes lives. Most men are taught directly or indirectly that if they just try harder, say the right things, show enough interest, eventually a woman will feel something back. But attraction doesn't work like effort-based economics. You don't deposit attention and withdraw affection. In fact, the more you chase, the more you collapse the very space where attraction is born. Desire needs distance. Curiosity needs uncertainty. And when you're constantly available, constantly proving, constantly pursuing, you remove the emotional tension that makes someone lean in. What actually shifts a woman's interest is not how much you want her, but how deeply you are rooted in yourself. When a man has direction, discipline, and a life that feels meaningful to him, his energy changes. He's not scanning the room for approval. He's not adjusting his personality to be liked. He's steady. And that steadiness communicates something powerful on a subconscious level. This man is not trying to be chosen. He already chose himself. That alone reframes how she experiences him. Psychologically, humans are drawn to what feels valuable, and value is often inferred by scarcity and self-containment. When you stop chasing, you're not playing games, you're reclaiming your attention. You're saying, my focus is not something I hand out just because I'm attracted. That boundary creates contrast. And contrast is what interrupts her existing perception of you. Suddenly, you're not predictable, you're not needy. You're not auditioning, you're present but not attached. There's also a deeper philosophical layer here. Chasing is often driven by fear, the fear of being alone, the fear of missing out, the fear of not being enough. When you lead with fear, people feel it, even if they can't name it. But when you live from purpose instead of panic, your presence carries weight. You listen more than you perform. You speak less, but with clarity. You don't rush moments. And that calm authority invites respect before it ever invites attraction. This doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. It means becoming intentional. You engage when it aligns with who you are, not when you're seeking reassurance. You're warm, but not overinvested. Curious, but not consumed. And that balance is rare. Most people swing between indifference and obsession. When you occupy the middle grounded, aware, self-directed, you stand out without trying to. Here's the shift to sit with. The moment you stop making her the center of your emotional world, you become someone she can actually move toward. Attraction grows in the presence of self-respect, so don't ask how to make her want you. Ask how to become a man who doesn't need to be wanted to feel whole. That's where everything changes. Once a man stops chasing and becomes grounded in himself, the next shift is more subtle, but just as powerful. Attraction cannot survive in an environment where a woman feels emotionally unsafe, and emotional safety has nothing to do with being nice, agreeable, or endlessly accommodating. It has everything to do with how you make her nervous system respond when she's around you. Before desire can grow, her body has to feel calm in your presence. Many men confuse intensity with connection. They rush intimacy, overshare too early, or push conversations toward outcomes instead of understanding. But emotionally intelligent men do the opposite. They slow the pace, they allow silence, they listen without interrupting or fixing. When a woman senses that she doesn't have to perform, impress, or protect herself around you, her defenses begin to relax. That relaxation is the doorway to attraction. Psychologically, emotional safety is created through consistency and presence. You don't change your tone depending on her mood. You don't withdraw when she tests you emotionally. You remain steady. This steadiness signals reliability, and reliability signals safety. It tells her, I can be myself here without consequences. And when that message lands, interest often grows where none existed before. There's also a philosophical layer to this. Desire is not something you extract from another person. It's something that emerges when fear dissolves. When you're not trying to control her feelings or rush her timeline, you create space for her to arrive emotionally on her own terms. That autonomy is deeply attractive. It allows her to choose you freely rather than react to pressure. Emotional safety is also built through boundaries. Paradoxically, when a man respects his own limits, a woman feels more secure with him. You don't over-explain. You don't apologize for having standards. You're kind, but you're not self-sacrificing. This balance communicates emotional maturity. It shows that you're not looking to be completed. You're inviting connection from a place of wholeness. And here's the part most men miss. Emotional safety is not passive. It's an active presence. It's eye contact that isn't hungry. It's humor that isn't deflective. It's curiosity that isn't interrogative. It's letting moments breathe instead of filling every gap with words. When you show up like this, you become someone she feels drawn to emotionally before she ever labels it as attraction. So if you're wondering why interest hasn't sparked yet, ask yourself this: not did I impress her, but did I make her feel at ease being herself around me? Because desire doesn't begin with excitement, it begins with safety, and the man who can create safety without losing himself becomes unforgettable. Once you've stopped chasing and created a sense of emotional safety, the final shift is about leading the dynamic without forcing the outcome. Many men misunderstand this concept. They think leading means controlling, dominating, or dictating how a woman should feel. But true leadership in attraction is subtle, grounded, and confident. It's about guiding the interaction, setting the pace, and carrying an energy that's steady regardless of her reactions. When you do this, you signal emotional maturity, and that maturity is magnetic. Women are drawn to men who are stable, intentional, and self-contained, not desperate to prove their worth. Leading the dynamic starts with presence. You're aware of the conversation, the energy, and her responses, but you're not dependent on them. You can make decisions, take initiative, and hold your ground without aggression. This isn't about ego or showing off. It's about demonstrating that you operate from a place of certainty. Certainty, even quiet certainty, creates polarity. Polarity is what fuels attraction. Without it, interest often fades because she unconsciously senses the imbalance. One person is centered, the other is reactive. There's also a psychological truth here. When a man leads without forcing, he removes pressure from the interaction. Most women experience subtle tension when someone is trying too hard to win their affection. That tension is draining, and it closes doors instead of opening them. But when you remain calm, intentional, and grounded, you allow her mind and heart to move freely. She can respond, lean in, or explore attraction on her own terms. And paradoxically, it's this freedom that deepens desire. Philosophically, leading the dynamic without forcing is an act of self-respect. It acknowledges that your worth is not determined by someone else's feelings. You're not waiting for validation. You're choosing how you engage. That choice communicates power without aggression. It's the difference between a man who acts from fear and a man who acts from understanding. And understanding, when combined with presence and emotional intelligence, becomes irresistible. This approach also requires patience. Attraction is rarely instant. When you lead confidently, she may resist at first, or she may not notice immediately. But your consistent energy, your calm authority, your self-assured presence, your willingness to engage without clinging lays the groundwork for deep, lasting attraction. It's not manipulation, it's alignment with how human desire naturally functions. So the shift is clear. Stop forcing outcomes, start guiding the interaction. Be the man who is intentional, steady, and self-contained. Create space for her to choose you, not because she feels pressured, but because she's drawn to the confidence, clarity, and calm you embody. And remember this, the moment you are truly okay with her not choosing you, you paradoxically become the man she can't ignore. That is the essence of magnetic attraction.